It's the break of dawn, but residents of Baruwa in Lagos State are starting the day on a rather anxious note. Another gas explosion occurs, and it appears the last thing on their minds is their safety as they mill around the area to catch a glimpse of the incident. Several properties are destroyed, and several officials say the casualty figure is at least 5 and 8 injuries. However, fire service officials are on ground as they battle to salvage what they can. According to the officials at the scene, a generator may have triggered the blast.
From our preliminary investigation, we saw the hose of a tanker possibly trying to discharge. And already the generator of the plant is on, I think supplying them power. So the compound was already charged. About 5 bodies have been recovered, 8 persons were rescued alive. Out of these 8, 3 were critical, while 5 had minor injuries.
We have 25 houses affected. Out of these 25 buildings that were affected, 10 buildings were severely burned. And with this, we have 16 shops affected. We have 3 vehicles affected. We have 2 Okadas, 1 Mawa Okada and 1 plain Okada affected.
While some of the residents are lost for words, others want gas plants situated far away from residential areas.
When this place was to be established years back, we protested against it because we felt it is not safe for a community where it is highly populated. And we decided that, look, if this should be established here, it will be a calamity later in future. And that is exactly what has happened now.
A fire station should be closer to us.
The lawmaker representing the area at the State House of Assembly says the situation is already receiving the attention of the government.
The issue is not Lagos State government. Lagos State government has no approval authority on the establishment of gas plant. No. It is the DPPR. And those are the people that we have to take accountable for this ugly situation. Is that becoming too much?
Residents of the area may heave a sigh of relief for now, as another gas plant being proposed for the area is sealed off temporarily. However, this is yet another opportunity for the relevant authorities to take a drastic measure concerning the siting of oil and gas depot. This has become imperative given the occurrences like this one that have claimed not only properties but human lives in recent times.
Sad one indeed, where we are joined on the program by fire safety expert Ayokunle Ewumiju, who joins us via Skype. Thank you for joining us today on the program News Across Nigeria.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so it appears the Ikpaja and Baruwa areas of Lagos are now becoming notorious for explosions linked to gas and oil pipelines. It seems that lessons are not being learned from the frequency of such incidents. What can you tell us is going on at this moment concerning these frequent gas explosions in those areas?
I need to go for this general knowledge about fire. So we all understand it's not only gas explosions that can cause fire. Other things could cause fire, like petrol, ordinary paper. Other things could cause fire. But it's quite sudden that the gas has been exploding consistently, like back to back. So the 3 things that are important before fire can happen is there has to be oxygen, which is the air around us. There has to be a material, and there has to be the temperature for the fire to burn. What has happened in Baruwa is that there has been a lot of gas, which is highly inflammable, and there's the temperature that ignited the fire, and the whole things work together for the fire to happen. It's nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to have an accident today. Nobody expected it, so we can't say it's happening just like that, you know. So we can reduce the amount of fire, or if we have safety checks in place in all these areas. And there's a pipeline. I heard there's an NNPC pipeline. I've been trying to study the routes of the NNPC pipelines and the planning code of those areas, and apparently I couldn't get them. I couldn't really get the details of the planning code of that area.
So again, when such incidents such as this, when they happen, people throw safety to the wind, as seen in this latest incident. So tell me, how can we improve crowd control for the safety of those who are just curious, perhaps, and to ensure that emergency operations are not hampered, in the rescue effort, as it seems?
Usually, it's because we don't have sanitization of all these things. There are experts, the LASEMA, the fire safety coordinators, and things like that. In those areas, there should be at least within a certain amount of kilometers away from that, there should be a fire safety where fire experts are and can go to the scene and sort out the fire. Lagos State is actually very good in this regard. They try their best. But there's a limit if people are crowded and everything like that. What we need is to sanitize people more, talk about it more, and educate the general public. And the more we educate them, the more they get aware, and it helps in curtailing the amount of crowd and people covering the whole areas and not allowing people to the people that are trained to manage fire incidents to get to the site and manage it. So it's more of training.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ayakunle Ogunmiju, a fire safety expert. We thank you for your thoughts on the program News Across Nigeria.
Thank you so much for having me.